Yeah, although like I was saying, the most I always worried about how he would treat me. But if it's one thing I've learned, when somebody really love you for you, no matter what, and as long as they want you to be happy, they might not agree with what you're doing, but at the end of the day, everybody has to live their lives. And
their lives.
I think a
But
lot
just
of
to add,
people have, even parents, they have,
mhm,
forced their beliefs and, you know, however they feel about how you live in your life. And the worst part to me sometimes is your own parents haven't lived a good life. You know,
mhm,
they haven't
true,
given
true.
you, they haven't been the role model for you to even for you to say, well,
This is right.
this is
Right.
how
Mhm.
whether it's heterosexual or homosexual lifestyle, however you want to, say it. A lot of them will tell you that you need to live your life a certain way, but then you look at them, because I've always been that type of kid. Even now in my adult life, I don't listen to people that talk bull crap. And when I say that,
But
what?
to add to that,
Mhm.
you have two type of people living in society. You have the persons, you have the people who don't give a crap about whatever people say about them, and
Mhm.
then you have a next set who care about what people think about them or say about them, which is me. I really do, especially a person who I care about.
Yeah.
I really do mind what they say about me, because if my grandma will say something bad about me, I literally cry, you
Mhm.
know. But if like person who I don't know or I don't care about will say something bad about me, I laugh, or I just start not even curse them out. I just ignore them, you know. So it doesn't hit me the way of my grandma or persons who I really love,
Mhm.
with will hit me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? You understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying, like you said, there's everybody's different in their own way. That's why we're
Yeah.
so unique. But what I'm saying is that I've been that kid. Like, you can't sit here and tell me education is important, but you ain't even have a college degree. A high school diploma. You never went. You didn't even finish the sixth or seventh grade. I feel like we get caught up in this thing of telling people that, or telling it, especially parents that have kids, like, we don't look at our children as human beings. We look at them as property. And the moment that you feel as if that I birthed you, I could tell you whatever I want.
What
I
to
could
do?
say and do what I want to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the problem comes in, because in reality, you don't have no control over your life. So now you want to control this little human being life to the point where it's going to hinder them when they get to a certain place in society. Because if you're sitting here,
Mm-hmm.
think about it, most kids that's in LGBT community, if you're sitting here talking about you don't like this and you don't like that, sometimes your own kid in your household can't even express how they feel or tell you that they're having these same feelings, but because,
Because they care about what you think
yeah, and
and what
they
you're gonna
have
say.
heard you, what I'm saying, speak with your friends or whether it's with other family members about
Mm-hmm.
if
That's the
that
same
was,
thing that happened in my family.
yeah. So for me, it's like I always told myself, you know long my grandfather always been by my side, and I said, if he's gonna love me through, as society look at it, like, we probably one of the worst things, but that's just their opinion. I said, he loved me through thick and thin. I could care less what nobody else think,
And,
because, like I
and
said, those that pass the most judgment, they life not even together for 10%, but they quick to tell you how to live your life. Let me deal with God. Don't worry about what I'm dealing with. Because most people that I've realized, like, especially heterosexual people, they would sit and tell you this is wrong, that is wrong, but they with a man that's sleeping around with everybody, cheating on them, and doing whatever. So you rather me take your lifestyle as an example and live a lifestyle like that? No. Let me live my life. I'm not worried about your life. You live your life. I live mine. and we go about our business. But like you said, even people just feel the need that they need to know if you're dating the same sex. Why do you care? Because
Yeah, right.
I don't come and ask you who you sleeping with, because that's none of my business. I don't care
That's
what
so
you're
true.
doing. I never
So true.
understood that whole thing. You want to know what somebody's doing behind closed doors at night.
Those are.
Why do you care?
Mhm. I
Never,
remember
never understood it.
today I encountered this kid. I'm older than him, and he know I'm a female. And he started referring to me as sir, and I'm like, okay, today is sex exchange day, so hi ma'am, miss, how are you? I'm like, seriously?
But this is how
So
society raised their children, to be disrespectful. And I've always told myself, it don't matter if you're a janitor, you're a doctor, it don't matter if you're homeless. Show the same respect and have your children show the same respect to everyone that you want somebody to show you. But
yeah, definitely.
like I said, it it's mind boggling, but we just gotta just live our life, and all I could say is that love is love, and just keep it at that, but
So even today when he kept saying sir, and out loud, we're in a group of people, a group of us,
yeah.
and he did something really stupid, and someone was like, "Who just said that?" Like he was saying something, and it was stupid, and I turned around and I was like, "That's her." So everybody was like, "Wait, you're the only female inside here." So I pointed at him, and I was like, "Yeah, that's her." And I was like, "Okay," and I said, "Yeah, it's sex exchange day." Is he wants to be a female, like, because he's actually calling me a sir. So I take his identity, and he's taking mine for the day. And everyone started laughing. I'm like, this kid is something else.
I know, it's like you said, but that's the society that we lives in, so my next question is, growing up in Jamaica, did you feel like it have any influence on you not wanting to, to let people know your sexual orientation? Is that one of the reasons why you just like, I'll live my life, but I'll live my life the way I want to live it? But it's
Private.
private. Is it because of you
My
have seen
family. It was
things?
definitely because of my. It was definitely because of my family. One and two. It's because of my son. And I mean, because you don't want persons to start messing messing with him about it. Hey, your mother is gay, or So I try to keep my private life private. I don't go out there and do it in person's face. Hey, I'm a lesbian. No, I don't. But I do think about how my family will receive me, or how they will take it. So I try not to do things where they'll be like, yo, if they know, they know. My mom knows, and she didn't say anything. She loved me. I was like, I don't care. It's my daughter. My sister is the same thing. When person will curse at her and say, "Great, your sister is a lesbian," she was like, "I'm very proud one too, and I'm proud of her." You know. So my mother, my mother said her family they accept me, but my dad said, "Oh my God, I don't know what to think about that." But I think they know, but they just want me to say it. But then I know their mindset. They're not open minded. But
Which,
I just kept it to myself because I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
which is,
So
I don't even mean to cut you off, which is one of the hardest part. I don't think people realize, you can't tell me you love me unconditionally, and then when I'm living my truth, because you don't agree with my lifestyle, you can stop loving me. So that means you never really love me.
yeah,
As long as
um,
if I'm not doing what you think is the right thing, that you're not gonna support me and love me, which is what I don't understand. So that means your love comes with some type of conditions with it, you know,
mm,
which, like I said earlier, you can't tell your kids or you know, even if it's just a family member, how they live their lives. Because you already lived your life, and I'm pretty sure if we put your life on this platform where everybody could dissect,
It wasn't perfect.
a lot of people in society will tell you that you're trash. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people will tell you, "Oh, you had this kid about when you were 17, you got pregnant by you 17." People are gonna judge you for that. Oh, you got pregnant out of wedlock. They're gonna judge you for that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you you living with a man and you guys are not married. They're gonna judge you for that. Oh, you stole before, you this before, you smoke, you know, you sold drugs, you
Mm-hmm.
did this.
Persons only see what you're doing, but they don't see what they're doing. You know what I mean? So, as I said, I only, it's just a handful of people who I care about, and I just don't say to them, I just leave it. If they know, they know. I just don't throw things in their face, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do my thing discreetly, you know? But if they know, I think they know. So I'm just going with the flow of life. I'm just going with the flow.
they
They
definitely
know,
know
they know.
by now. It's just they want you to come out, and like I said, I'm gonna tell you, like I said before, I don't think it's your job to make nobody feel comfortable when it comes to you being happy. You, if you feel like telling somebody this is who I am, then you tell them. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I don't, you don't owe nobody any explanation. You know, because like I always say, I'm not worried about who you laying down with. So why are you so concerned about what I'm doing? You know? And at the end of the day, like you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
that's a lot to come out and, you know, and express that this is how I am. And I think that takes time. You don't just do that just to do it. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So, you know, like you said, your family is one of the reason why you haven't like come out. It's funny, like, so there hasn't been an experience for you where you have seen anyone, you know, experience certain disrespect was the reason why that have hindered you from even letting anyone know that, you know, this is how you are now? Or it's just basically mostly because of your family?
I think mostly because of my family. It has to be that. But as I said, I'm the type who care about what my family thinks or how my family see me, you know? So it's definitely my family.
And you know, it's so crazy, but a few years before I came to America, it was this guy, you know, God rest his soul, and um, basically he was beaten badly one morning. I was on my way to school, and when I told you his hands was broken, his legs was broken, and, you know, I asked, I'm like, I remember the morning I was like, you know, I tried to get close to look, but they didn't want, a family member of mine didn't want me to see it because it was so bad. And then, you know, I asked a few days later when I didn't see him, like, you know, where is he? And they were like, you know, and you know, sometimes when kids ask questions, like, they just, like, brush you off. And
Mm-hmm.
as I got older, when he came back to the neighborhood and I asked, I was like, where, what, you know, where he was at? Because I remember the day I seen him and I was like, oh, he's back, like, you know. And somebody was like, you know, that was him that was got beaten that morning when the dogs was biting him and they broke his. And I said, for what? That man stayed to himself. He don't bother nobody. And they basically was like, you know, it's because someone from the neighborhood told that they saw him with another man in the park. So me as a kid trying to understand If he's in the park with a man, why would that bother anybody?
Mm-hmm. Why are you in the park?
Yeah,
What
and
was your
why
reason?
and why were you in the park to see him in the park with another man? That's what they should have asked themselves. And to me, for years, I sat and I thought about it that this man don't bother nobody, and he was beaten like that, you know, because of who he loves. And to me, for years I thought about it like, so if you ever was to be that way, you can't stay in this community. Which is funny because I've known of other women that was lesbians, but they didn't really mess with the lesbians. But the guys, it's a problem, you know. So I never understood it. So for me, my experience was that where me seeing someone getting beaten like that, he was in the hospital for probably 6 months to a year. And, a few years later, he came back and he was killed. And Lord knows why he was killed. I feel like the explanation was stupid, but, it didn't make any sense. But we just gonna leave that at that. But, you know, it's just to me, like I said, God rest his soul in peace because that was just uncalled for. Other grown men worried about another man sleeping with a man. If you ask me, he's sleeping with one of y'all if y'all feel the need to beat on him. So, but I just want to thank you for doing this episode with me.
No
And,
problem.
I appreciate it. Hopefully our audience, will get a little understanding, of people that lives in the LGBT community and how we have to maneuver daily. That we can get up and say we're gonna go to this function, a family function. It's like that it's not they don't make it easy for some of us, especially someone like yourself that says you care about what people think. Because you have some people that say, I'm going to a family function and I'm gonna be outright gay. I don't care. And then you have some of us that's just gonna be discreet and try not to throw it in their face. But then I don't think they understand that they have made some of us very uncomfortable. Even if you go to a family function or for friends, their family members whispering or, they start having a little conversation, making little comments. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, would you like if I start having certain conversation around, oh, you broke, you don't have a job, you know, you always begging somebody for something. Would you want me to have a conversation or me just being shady about, oh, people that's you getting help from the government don't never had a job a day in your life? Do you have a college degree? But it's like I don't think some people process or think about the things that they do, because this is why it's so hard for you sometimes, people like you, to come out, because you have people that really get off on like really trying to mentally f others over. Like, they would know you're not comfortable and try to still have certain conversation in your presence, because they want to force you to come out and say something. It's like they're antagonizing you, and it's like, dude, I'm not trying to go there. Like, leave me alone. Have your conversation, or have a conversation about something else. But why do you have to be fixated on my sexual orientation? I'm not fixated on the fact that you haven't graduated high school, you haven't done nothing with your life, you have no work history, your kids are failing school, you have nothing to show for yourself. In the last 30 or 40, 50, 60 years you've been on this earth, what have you done to make somebody else's lives better? Your kids are a reflection of you because you haven't done anything with your life and they not doing anything. But they're so focused on everybody else that they scared to take time to look in the mirror and reflect that maybe my shit stinks too. You know? But
Yeah, definitely.
but like I
Yeah.
said, that's never gonna happen because people shit that stink the most never think it stinks, you know. But like I said, I want to say thank you again, you know, for giving me this opportunity for having our first podcast episode on the Black Woman Don't Black, and I just want the audience to know like we're gonna do. I'm gonna put a part one, the intro, part one, and part two tonight, and I want to say thank you for those that's been supporting so far, whether it's words of encouragement and just pushing me to do this thing. Like we really trying to do good things with this because I feel like we have podcasts that talk about a lot of things, but sometimes it's all around podcast. Most of the people with podcasts are people with money and it's basically more around money and financial freedom. We're really gonna talk about everything on this podcast. Certain things some people not gonna be comfortable with, which is this is one of those topics. But I just want to say thank you
Mhm.
again, and
No problem, man. Anytime, just hit me up.
all right,
You know where to find me.
all right. Have a good evening, everybody.